Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? How's it going? We are live and in the house tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. We got the Christmas holidays, and personally, I stopped celebrating Christmas years ago, but family still does. So, Merry Christmas. You know, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah. But yep. So glad everybody is here. We will be kicking it off here. So I am Reginald Q A. So I am the founder of Comedic Centered Living, and I change lives. Yes, I do. By helping people get over negative Christian programming and limiting beliefs so that they can live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on their terms. Because that's what it's about. Living life on your terms. Not having somebody dictate to you, some people telling you or judging you, and you're afraid to live your life because they might say the wrong thing about you or anything about you. Like, hell no. Let's live. Let's have some fun. What's up, Dulce Maria? Judy Smith Brando, what's going on? Ryla Creator, good to have you. Good to have you. Adrian, hello. Tawana Clark, hello. There's my daughter, Vo Vibes, in the house. Robert Bush, what's going on? Quabina Jaquez, hello. Crystal Wainwright, how are you doing? PN Dub, what's going on, fam? Robert Johnson, what's up, family? Y'all all right? It's Rawlicious, what's up, fam? What's up? Good to have y'all in the house. It's always good to have my fam in the house with me. Moon Goddess, where you been, child? Where you been? Good to see you. So Ruben, what's up, Ruben? Mo fam in the house. Hello there, Melvin Reed. How's it going? Michael Wilkerson. One Law Spirit, what's going on? Ernest Hercule. Is that Hercules as in Hercules? Hercules. What's up? So glad to have y'all all here. So yeah, it's a good night. Eugene Dorsey, what's going on? Kia Ham, hello. Good to have you. It's good to have y'all here. So, I know some of y'all been getting this. I guess somebody like copied my picture and screen name or whatever, and was like asking for donations for some orphanage in Nigeria. And I read that thing and I looked at it. I said, "There's no way in hell they could think that that was me." I mean, the first word they started off with was beloved. Beloved, I don't know you, but God knows you. Does that sound like any doggone thing I would say? Beloved, I don't know you, God knows you. Hell no. I was like, there's no way anybody could mistake that for me. I mean, I don't even talk like that. Beloved. Please. No. I'm like, report that spam eating. Report that dude or whoever that was. So anyway, that tripped me out. I was like, man, nobody would mistake that for me. Nobody. Yeah, but I guess a couple of people might have did. I don't know. Hopefully nobody sent them any money. I don't know. That was kind of crazy. But it is what it is. So it got you, Moon Goddess. Dang it, Moon Goddess. You know I don't talk like that. Come on now. You know you don't know me long enough. I'm not gonna be up there like, beloved, God don't know you. Or I don't know you, but God loves you. No. I wouldn't do it. No way in hell I would talk like that. But anyway, it's all good. Next time y'all see that, block them. I ain't gonna be soliciting for no orphanages and stuff. So not on this one. Y'all will know it was me. I'll be like, hey, what's up, fam? You know, I'm doing. Hey, somebody needs some money somewhere. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah. All right. We got any questions tonight? Got any questions, anybody? What we've been thinking about? What everybody been thinking about? Well, let's talk about some Kemetic spirituality. So yeah, Dark Goddess is in the house. What's up, Dark Goddess? So yeah. So what we got? What we got? Anything? Anything? So yeah. But yep. So well, I don't know. Nobody's got any questions, so we just hang out. We'll just hang out and just, I don't know. I know y'all don't want to see me get up and dance. Do something. No, not happening. Judith Smith said, I knew immediately that wasn't you. So, right. For real. Nope. Not me. You know, I have been doing some stuff that I'm going to be doing here on the internet pretty soon, but just talking about like the difference between Comedic spirituality and Christianity. So I know a lot of people with a lot of my stuff, I'm always comparing and contrasting. So people think I'm like trying to attack Christianity. I mean, Christians, you didn't say anything about Christians, they think you're attacking them, you know. No, I don't agree with you. Why are you attacking me? Please, I just said I don't agree with you because that's some stupid shit. But you know, but anyway, so I was talking about the difference and talking about the difference between what we learned as Christians, because a lot of times, like what I figured out with Kemetic spirituality, it is that it's more about processes and systems that you learn. Okay, so processes, like actually in Christianity, we think in terms of our thought in terms of being controlled, somebody telling you what to do, something from the outside basically moving you and dictating to you, you know, who you should be, what you should be, how you should act, stuff like that. And as far as like just an idea like prayer, okay, so when we think of prayer from the Christian perspective, we think of prayer through a ritual and the word. So we get down on our knees, we put our hands together, and then we bow our heads. Okay. But Kemetic spirituality, when we talk about prayer from the Kemetic perspective, it's not about the ritual, it's actually about the process that develops you from within. Okay. And this is what I mean. So when we think about prayer from the Kemetic perspective, it is more about your vibration, okay, which is your inner state. And our emotions equate to vibration. And this is what I mean by that. If we are feeling sad, we can say that equates to a low vibration. We're feeling angry, it's a low vibration. Now it's a different feeling, but if we looked at it on the scale of two different spectrums, low vibration is going to be here, high vibration here. Okay, so we are more tapping into our internal state, because when we're thinking about our vibration, the whole universe vibrates and it never stops. Okay, we're part of the universe. Okay, we are the most evolved aspect of the universe in this plane that we call Earth. Okay, the human body is. All right. So when we're talking about connecting to the universe, we're never disconnected. Whereas Christianity can can teach you that you're disconnected, or God is not talking to you or stops talking to you. Like, that never occurs. Okay, because you are a vibrational being and you're always communicating with the universe, always. Okay, so it's a matter of you taking control of what you are vibrating on, or what your vibration is. Okay, so anytime you're talking about communicating, anytime you're talking about prayer, is not the ritual, it's not the words. Okay, I don't know if probably some of y'all have heard of the acts when we're talking about Christian prayer. And we heard them when the deacons would be praying, be like, Father God, I come to you, and and with a heavy heart, and I want to thank you, Father God, and I want to just ask you, Father God, for blah blah blah. Okay, that's adoration, thanksgiving. I forget what the C is, and then the adoration, thanksgiving, ACTS. I forget what it is, but right offhand. But it's 4 stages that you're supposed to go through during your prayer. In other words, it's based on the words that you say. But that has nothing to do with you really communicating with the universe, the words that you say. What does have something to do with you communicating with the universe and to God is your actual feelings that when you're saying that prayer. Okay, so a lot of times Christian prayer, I would say, is more like an intervention. Okay, it's more like you're going to stop something. You drop down on your knees and pray when something bad is happening. Like you can't pay your bill, and you're like, oh God, I need some money. Can you help me? Okay, but the Comedic way of praying is more like you wind it into the fabric of your life. Because if you want to create more abundance, then you have to start to think in terms of abundance. You have to start to assume a vibration of abundance and feeling and focusing on the things that you desire abundantly, rather than waiting for the ceiling to drop in and then you pray for some intervention. Okay, so Comedic spirituality, on that end, looking at prayer, Comedic spirituality is more about developing it within your lifestyle. It becomes part of the fabric of your life. Whereas with Christianity, it's like I said, it's more of an intervention. Okay, it's more of it's about the event. Whereas Comedic spirituality is more about the processes. It's more about the systems and processes that you use, the tools and techniques that you use in order to connect to the universe, or to connect and create from a perspective of empowerment. Okay, so we can look at Christianity and contrast it to Comedic spirituality. And Christianity, on some level, almost when we were Christian, it was almost like a lot of the ideas and doctrines were more like an intrusion into our life. It would stop our life, or it would stop certain things from happening in our life, or we would look to like avoid things in our life. Whereas Comedic spirituality is more about life is happening. Now, what is the meaning of this? What's going on, and how can I change this? How can I create something different? Okay. Christianity is about rules, and Comedic spirituality is more about principles. Okay. So that's what we can talk about here. Okay. Fort Law, what's happening? What's happening? Fort Law is in the house. So yeah, so that's you can characterize Christianity and Comedic spirituality. I would succinctly say Christianity is more about an intervention. It's more about keeping you from things, or keeping you boxed in a certain way, making you think a certain way. You have to believe a certain way in order to belong to Christianity. Okay. With Comedic spirituality is more about you developing yourself and becoming the best and highest version of yourself. Okay. You live in an expanded state, trying to expand your awareness. And that is through all experience, whether it be good or bad, you are expanding your awareness. Okay. Christianity wants you to shut off your awareness. It wants you to shut off your thinking cap a lot of times. It wants you to shut off even questioning ideas. You're just supposed to accept them on faith, you know? So that's a different mode of I won't even call it Christianity. Like we equate, or a lot of Christians, when we were Christian, we equated religion and spirituality as the same thing, but they're not. They are not. They're not the same thing. Okay. Religion, again, is about restriction. It's about, and I know the definition of a religiare and the tie, the binding and stuff like that. So I get that. But religion is more about constricting you. And spirituality, any spirituality, not just Kemetic spirituality, any spirituality is more about expanding you. Okay, so that's how we can look at these two different systems. So, not trying to necessarily put the Christian religion down, just comparing it to different aspects. And believe me, there are people who find more comfort in the restrictions. And usually those people are more comfortable because they're afraid of their own power, or they feel like they don't have power. So they feel like they need something to not only control them, but to control other people. Okay. So people who live in fear, people who lack self-esteem, would rather live in a box where they're told what to do, because then they fear making mistakes less. Although Christianity, I don't know, you live in fear all day, every day about something. Okay, y'all follow what I'm saying? So the people who want to live in fear, or people who live in fear, would rather have a box to fit into, rather than be free to expand where they want to go and take chances and take risk and maybe, you know, find out something's not cool or something, you know, whatever. Okay. So that's what we got, how we have to look at that. Okay. So Cool TY 3000 says, Hotep brother, my question is, which came first, Sumerian or Kemet? Do I, my brother? Kemet came first. I mean, it's out of Africa. So Samaria was like a suburb of Kemet, basically a suburb of Africa in a sense. But the Middle East, and I know what happened with that Cool TY was that Egyptologists, the more that they researched back, they saw the blacker that things got. And Egyptologist was a very racist field all the way up until, I mean, till 1999. But they wanted to push a certain narrative. And they tried to push the narrative that the Sumerians, who were Semitic people, were closer to white, were more advanced than the Africans. But that just wasn't the case. Okay. So the more that people, there's a great book written by some brothers and a sister called Africa Time. And y'all can check that out on Amazon if you want. But Africa Time, these brothers and sisters, they researched the hell out that book. I love that book and the research, footnotes, everything. But the book basically chronicles Africa from, I mean, year way back to, you know, 1830 something. I mean, it was just they did a massive amount of research. The book is probably, man, this thick. Do I have that book somewhere around here? I know I got it somewhere around here. Let me see. Dang it! I hate it when I don't have my. I got it somewhere around here, but the book is probably, man. It's like this thick. But it's a great book to watch. But they'll prove to you in that book that Samaria is nowhere close to the age of Africa. So I mean, the honest, I guess, Egyptologists will show you that even the first numbers, first writing, they found things in Africa way older than Samaria. Okay, so yeah. So Miss M gave $5. So thank you, Miss M. Says thank you for the content. And Cool TY, thank you for that $9. Definitely appreciate that. So definitely appreciate it. Queen of Destiny, thank you, ma'am. Says powerful content always. My goal is to visit Egypt in the very near future. You have purely expanded my horizons. Thank you, ma'am. I definitely appreciate that. That's family again, right there. Queen of Destiny. Let's see. Vote Vibe says is being positive all the time a futile effort. Does positive outlook truly make a difference in one's life? So that's it. Miss Shim was asking that. Okay, so and that is actually a great question, Miss Shim. So, and when I say being positive, I'm not talking about having a Pollyanna attitude of, oh, it's just sunshine and rainbows, flowing out my butt all the time, No, I'm not talking about that. Okay. What I'm talking about is choosing, because life is going to happen. We're human. Sometimes we're going to be up, sometimes we're going to be down. That's just the natural thing. Okay. But from a comedic perspective and from a vibrational perspective, you have a choice of being up or down. You have control of that. And you can choose at any time to focus on the positive side of things rather than the negative. What that's going to do is automatically make you more of an optimistic individual. When you choose to notice the positive, because we always have the duality. There's always the good part, the bad part. It's always going to be that in our life, in the world, at any time. It's never not going to be that duality that we're going to deal with. Okay. There's never not going to be, and I'm using the double negative intentionally. There's never not going to be something negative. That's not how our world is constructed, because we cannot have positive experience without the negative experience. It's like trying to clap with one hand. You cannot have an experience without the other side. It's just not possible. However, you have the power to choose which experience that you want to focus on. Always. Okay? And a lot of us have been taught that we're powerless. Okay? We're powerless in this world. And we walk around mad and angry because of things that are happening. Because, racist white people, because the COVID, who started it, what's in it, blah. We walk around just, mad about stuff all the time. But you have the power to choose what you want to focus on. Okay. The thing is that once you start to focus on a certain thing, it starts to change the reality and start to bring in information and experience to confirm what you are focused on and what you truly believe. Okay. If you believe and live from a fearful perspective, you will always be guided by fear. You live life through your fears. Okay. So a positive outlook has the possibility of creating a world for yourself from your perspective, is what I mean. Doesn't mean anybody else out there. Seeing things from a positive perspective will produce a positive world and put you in a positive vibration, no matter what's happening around you. Okay. You can choose to focus on the positive rather than the negative. And let me take this to real life, to my real life. Okay. So there was a time when and I've said this, talked about the story, I lost everything that I had. But I realized that in that time, I had a choice to either focus on everything that I lost or find something positive in that experience to focus on. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. There were times that, man, there were days I went down. I mean, I got depressed, but I didn't stay there, you know? And I chose to focus on positive things. And I took that time back then to study, you know, and study the things that I share with you now. And I look back on that time and it was really a turning point. It was like a fork in the road for me. You know, I could have stayed doing what I was doing or study this information and really get the bug to teach and to enlighten others with the knowledge that I got, you know? And so here we are today. But if I had have stayed negative, focused on the negative with depression, dude, I probably would have blew my brains out. Really. So there was times that I just remember a day that I got so depressed. I was wondering, why the hell am I here? You know, why am I even living? That was a day, you know. But because I understood the principles and understood the laws of the universe, I did things to basically lift myself out of that, you know. So I was there one day, but then I moved through it. Okay, that makes any sense. So we have our superpower is the ability to focus on what we desire to create. That's our superpower. Okay. So very good. That was a good question. Good question. Uh, yeah, Dulcie Maria, the pancake method. That's for our class, though, Dulcie Maria. So people got to come into class to learn that one. Ha ha. Yeah. Let's see. What's the difference between being positive and thinking positive? Great question, Julie Smith Randall. Great question. So, thinking positive is in the moment, you consciously think to be positive about something, and that can be helpful. That can be helpful. Okay. But being positive is your state of being, your what you choose to be at any moment. Okay. And being positive is choosing to live your life from a perspective of thinking positive. So your being positive is literally going to affect your thoughts. Okay. Whereas thinking positive might be in the moment, you have to consciously make a decision to see something as positive. Okay. But being positive is just a way of life. That's the way I could put that. Being positive is a way of life. Okay, good question. Good question. And good distinction. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. See. Voche says, my dad's perseverance is legendary and has an inspiration throughout my life. Thank you, baby girl. I appreciate that. It's been an inspiration. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I tell y'all, many times that I have lived through some stuff. Okay, and I mean, there was many days that I could have given up. I mean, I lost my stuff, all my stuff, probably 10, 12 years ago. And then I did that. It was so nice. I had to do it twice. I lost it another time. So it's like, but it was all lessons for me. And it was all lessons to learn to trust my inner being, to trust my higher self, because I didn't. I did not trust my higher self. Let's see. Queen of Death said, what's your take on past lives versus past agreements? So if you mean past agreements within a past life, Queen of Destiny, because I think that we can tie ourselves to other people, to other souls, by strong emotions always tie us to other souls. And that's the reason why there are certain people we could meet for the first time and we can feel a strong affinity for them or a strong repulsion for them, because on some level we probably had some type of interaction with them in a past life. Not all the time, but usually that's the case. So there are times when there is a certain, I guess, energy or a certain experience that these two souls need to reconcile, and they will actually incarnate to reconcile it and play another game, so to speak, in a new life. So that happens. Let's see. Why do we have hardships? To learn lessons. Okay. So hardships are usually the catalyst for us to change direction, to gain wisdom. You know, I mean, I got my ass kicked enough that I changed a lot of directions. Let's see. No, you know what? Look, higher self, I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Yeah, I'll change this way then. Okay. Thank you. So that's how me and my higher self. I mean, I'm one of those hard-headed people that I'm gonna do it my way, because honestly, and I've actually told my family members, because family always want to give you advice and stuff. And I remember one of my family members one day was saying, hey, you need to do it this way, you need to do it. I said, you know what? I said, I'd rather have my ass kicked doing it my way than to do it your way and then regret that I didn't do it my way. That's what made more sense to me. I'm going to do it my way on my terms. And if I get my ass kicked, it's a lesson. But if I do it your way and I get my ass kicked, then I'm going to be like, damn, I should have did it my way, And then, of course, I'm going to go do it my way, But yeah, I mean, it's life hardships and life lessons are hardships are life lessons. A soul learns through opposites. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you incarnated on this earth to learn self-love and to learn how can I say, to gain high self-esteem, okay, this is something that us as Black people, we have to recognize that part of us and our incarnation right now at this time is for us to learn to love who we are, okay, because we still look at white people as the standard of beauty. I mean, I don't know how many sisters walk around with, their weave and straight hair and weave and stuff like that, And I don't want to knock it, because I understand a lot of sisters do that because the brothers, that's what they want. Straight hair and, the long flowing locks, Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, but that is part of us having to learn that our kinky hair is beautiful just like it is, that we're beautiful. Our skin is beautiful just like it is, So part of our lesson here now is to learn self-love, and we deal with racism, getting our asses kicked over the images and all of that stuff that's being perpetrated and put out in the media. We get psychologically beat up. But until we say, hey, enough is enough, I that's not for me, then we're going to always feel that pain of white supremacy and racism that does not want to tell us that we're beautiful. Hell, we're not supposed to look to them to tell us who we are anyway. Okay? But as souls, that's part of our journey here as Black people today, is that we are to overcome that. But as long as we feel like we're powerless and we want to keep fighting racism so we can get racist white people to say, you know what, you're okay for a nigger. I'm sorry, but that's what that means to me. It's like we keep fighting and wanting that acceptance from them. Like, man, fuck all of that. I'm sorry. It's you gotta love who you are. Bottom line, you gotta love who you are. Plain and simple, So souls learn through opposites, and as Black people, we struggle with self-identity because we're supposed to learn to love who we are unconditionally. Okay? Bottom line. Let's see. How does a soul plan? PN Dub gave $5. Thank you, PN Dub. How does a soul plan or contract supersede what we want to create and manifest? No, what you want to create and manifest can supersede the soul contract. Okay. Now you got to understand, PN Dub, that if it's something that is really like a huge lesson that you came here to learn, it's going to be hard as hell to change the flow of that lesson. If it's got a lot of energy and strength behind it, you can change it, but it's going to be very difficult. And I like to give the analogy of thinking of a whitewater river and a little stream that just kind of puddles along, in the it might be a little stream in a field, that just the rain just made a little puddle. I mean, a little stream all of a sudden because it was draining from somewhere. Okay. That whitewater river, the direction of it, it's just about impossible to change that whitewater river. Okay. That's a really strong soul contract that you've agreed to have happen. It might be something dangerous. It might be something very horrific. It might be something that's very strong that you're supposed to learn. Okay. But that energy, the energy behind it is so strong, you can't divert it and change it. You can, but it's very, very difficult. Whereas with something that doesn't have a lot of energy behind it, you can create another experience from it if you want. You can create a different experience and you can divert that energy, so to speak. So that's how you want to look at that, how the two contracts, how two different contracts might play out in your life. So it's depending on the energy that you have behind them. Okay? That makes any sense. Let's see. Robert Johnson gave 1111. Thank you, brother. With the understanding that we are never disconnected from the source, is need an illusion? Is need and yes, absolutely. I would say absolutely positively. Need is an illusion because we have all that we need and all that we desire. We just have to become that we desire. Okay. As a man thinketh, so is he, man or woman. Okay. But but it's about thoughts and beliefs. Okay. So if you believe that you're in need or in lack, okay, then there's an issue there. And if you're you believe that you're in need or in lack, and usually piled on top of that is going to be some type of fear, or anger or whatever. So that absolutely that part is an illusion. So absolutely. So Russell gave $49.99. Thank you, Russell. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Very kind of you. Let's see. And let's see. Was that Fort Law? Was that you? Man, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Oh, no, that was Russell. Okay. It doesn't have a last name here. That's what I was trying. I couldn't see the last name. But thank you very much. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Cash Money says, where do we go when we die? I don't know what's on the other side. Is there an afterlife? If so, do I have a choice to stay in the spirit world, or do I have to come back to this world by force? So there's always a life between lives, okay? And you have a choice of when you want to incarnate, but you are going to incarnate as a soul because part of your journey as a soul is to learn and to gain wisdom so you can reintegrate back into oneness. You're never going to be forced. It's always going to be about your choice. But until you once you reincarnate, there's going to be lessons and cycles that you have to learn and that you have to integrate. And when I say integrate, that means vibrationally, that you become vibrationally balanced. In other words, you're not up here one day and down here the next. You're able to be balanced. So that's what the ancient Egyptians called, living ma'at. Okay, that you're vibrationally balanced. All right, but life makes us, go up and down. And if you have those strong pulls of emotion that you don't reconcile, it can tie you or bind you to another life and to another soul. Okay, so that can happen. That can happen. Okay. Let's see. So is that okay? Thank you, Voche. Russell Peterman. All right, thank you. Russell Peterman gave $49.99. Very, very, thank you very much. Thank you, baby girl, for putting that up there. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Brenda says what's really crazy is we don't know that our kinky hair serves a purpose. Those kinks serve as spiritual antennas. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and you know that black people's hair is the only hair on the planet that grows up. Everybody else is, that's pretty special. That's real special. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see. Enrique, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Let's see. Yeah, no chemicals in the hair either, Hell, I don't even have hair, so I don't even worry about it anymore. But But if I wore my hair, I wore it natural. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Insight to insight. What's going on, girl? Where you been? Ain't seen you in like a month of Sundays, child. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Let's see here. And let's see. I'm looking. Tyrone Legacy, I was trying to understand your question. I'm not quite following it. So it says, if your awareness never stops being a soul, wouldn't your afterlife be whatever state of awareness you're in, even after death, aware of your state? Okay, I think I know what you're saying. In other words, wouldn't you carry some of your life awareness into the soul realm? And yes, that would be the case. That would be the case. Sometimes you actually, from my understanding, you actually have like a soul way station in a way where you have to get rid of some of the life, I don't know, energy, almost like you have to wash it off of you in a way. So in a way, if a person has a psychologically really difficult life, it can be damaging to the energy of the soul, and it's like they literally have to like almost take a bath, an energy bath to like clear out that negative energy. Okay. Willie D says, can demons steal your soul? No, demons cannot steal your soul. So there's nothing that can steal. There's nothing that has more power in your world than you. Nothing. But if you believe it does, then it will. Okay. Let's see. D. Brooks says, how can you free your significant other from the chains of religion in a digestible way? D. Brooks, the deal is that your significant other has their journey and you have yours. So all you can do, well, I won't say all you can do. What the best road that you can take in that sense is to allow them to be who they are. And if and when they're ready, then you can be there to answer questions for them, but you can't dictate their journey. Okay. So you can't dictate other people's journey of when and if they're going to be getting away from religion. It just doesn't happen that way. Okay. So you came when you were ready. So more than likely there was nobody that forced you to look outside of religion. There might have been some event that made you go, oh man, what's the deal with that? And you started asking questions, but it was from your own volition and your own free will to do that. So trying to get your spouse and anybody else to go the direction that you want them to go because you think it's best for them, it's not going to work. Okay. Let's see. And let's see. Okay, I'm just looking here. See if there's any other questions. Shauna, hey, what's happening? Oh, did you go cruising inside the inside? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Boy, I know that was a blast. I know that was a blast. Yes, indeed. Let's see. I went on a cruise. What was it? Was it a month or so ago? Went on a cruise. Man, my first one. Oh, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. Boy, I was able to eat every single day, all day. Man, I decided I was not going to take the elevator. I was going to walk the steps from the top deck to the lowest deck. So I think that ship had like 15 decks. I might have taken the elevator maybe 3 or 4 times. I was on a 7-day cruise. I might have took the elevator 3 or 4 times. I was like, nope, I'm going to walk because I don't want to gain a whole lot of weight. And what's my computer doing? Oh, and so I was going to exercise the whole time. So that's what I did. And surprisingly, I only gained like 5 pounds. So it worked because I was eating my behind off. Woo! Food was good too, man. Yes. Okay. Let's see. So yeah. All right. The look here. Okay. So Brenda Shambliss gave $20 on Cash App. And Andrea Jenkins gave $20 on Cash App. Thank you both. Thank you both for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, if I don't see a question, guys, because this screen gets to moving, I don't always see the question. So y'all gotta help me. So repost it more than one time. I don't always mean to ignore them. Now, some questions like where did white people come from? I'm gonna ignore that question. Oh man, it was at a time when, God, man, that question seemed like that was every week. Where do white people come from? I don't know. I don't know. But boy, they be asking that question. But anyway, I'm wondering why. Let's see. Kermit S. Wingfield, you can sign up for a birth chart reading from me. Yeah, vovibes.com. Yeah, if y'all want to get birth chart readings from my daughter, she does a heck of a job. Vovibes.com is her place, is her site. And also my class is open for sign up. So you can go to africanmindrewire.com and get all the information that you want. So africanmindrewire.com. And so that's where my class is. And get information on it, and you can get signed up. So you can learn how to practically use the Comedic spirituality. And I also have a couple of bonuses going right now. You'd also get my courses. So I got 2 courses as bonuses there. And you can sign up and be able to have the courses and the class to go through. So keep you pretty busy. So Ruben, thank you very much. $20 there, brother. Thank you very much. That's family again. Let's see. Ruben says, is there a guide to help you along when you die transition? Yes, Ruben. So good question. There will be family members that are that will be there for you when you do transition. And I like to say when you transition because you're never dead. Okay. Now this body is gone. It's deceased. But your soul and your energy just transitions. But even sometimes, like your other family members might be incarnated in another life when you transition. But they still have part of their energy is able to remain in reserve because our physical body cannot contain all the energy that we are as a soul. It's just impossible. So we do have other energy back in reserve, or another aspect of us, and we can even have different simultaneous incarnations, believe it or not, because of we, and that's just part of a soul can choose if they want to accelerate some aspect of learning. They can then choose to have multiple. They can choose to have multiple incarnations that might have the same theme, same life theme, but might be doing it in different ways. Okay. So yeah. So yep. Cool TY 3000 gave $7. Says thank you, brother. Says, how do you feel about the direction that Pharaoh Akhenaten took that was different from the norm in Kenton? In Kemet. From what I had read about it, and I hadn't studied a whole lot about that, cool TY, but my understanding was is that Akhenaten was actually trying to bring by the time he was pharaoh, Kemet had gotten so corrupted that he was trying to bring it back to monotheism. So that was one of the reasons he was doing what he tried to do what he did. But his record and everything was almost wiped out. So a lot of people were mad at him. But yeah, but it was because it was being corrupted. Let's see. World. Cash Money says, when you get into the spirit world, will we be just living everyday life like this world, or what will it be? What will we be doing? Yeah, it's the spirit world. When we're disembodied, it's not like this world. It's something. It's totally different. And Cash Money, if you really want to know what the spirit world is like, pay attention to what's happening when you dream and how you're feeling when you dream, how you're able to move when you're dreaming in your dreams. Okay, you can know what death is like through you dreaming, because you're at that point your consciousness is disembodied. You literally have stepped outside your physical body, and your consciousness is traveling around other places, so you can feel what death is like right now. Okay, believe it or not, you can feel what death is like right now, and all you do is just pay more attention to how it feels when you're dreaming, what the environment is like when you're dreaming, because it's a lot like death. Okay, Shari Logan gave $5. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shari. So yeah, but that good question. Good question. So how do I start the right journey? Shauna A, that question is putting you in the mindset of there is a right way and a wrong way. You're already on your journey. Okay. So you're already on your journey, because I keep getting lost over Comedic spirituality now. So you're on your journey. There's no right way and wrong way. You're gonna live and experience the way that you're gonna experience. It's just about how you do, how you experience it, or how you choose. Mama Gigi gave $10. That's family again. Thank you, Mama Gigi. Thank you so much. So there's no, in other words, there's no right or wrong way, Shauna A. Just there is the principles that you want to live through, Comedic principles that you want to live through, and they're really simple. You know, what you put out is what you get back. You know, that's the most basic and foundational law. Okay, so and another way that we hear that say is treat others like you want to be treated. Okay, that's another way physically that works. You're gonna get back what you put out. So if you want to be treated a certain way, then you want to treat people the way that you want to be treated, because what you put out is what you're gonna get back. That's the most basic of laws. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Ernest Hercule said, my question, I think God, all pastors know around the world that Jesus is made up. No, I don't think so, Hercule. It's so many people assume that that the Bible is history. Even people that are not Christian assume that Jesus was historical. Okay. Because there's just so much data and so many books that have been written over the years about the historicity of Jesus and the people in the Bible. And it's like they build information on top of each other, but the foundation is the Bible. Take away the Bible, and all of that shit falls away. Okay. So Bruce Breland, what's going on, brother? Gave 1999. That's family again. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. So yeah, so all of that. So most preachers don't even understand that the Bible has like a whole esoteric foundation underneath it because they don't study it from that perspective. So they just don't know, you know. But do some of them know and don't say? You damn well better believe it. You damn well better believe they do. But you know, it is what it is with that. But again, it's our job to, I guess, I don't know how else to say it, but to police our own consciousness. You know, it's our job to find out information, because with this day and age with the internet, you stay ignorant because you choose to. Anybody that doesn't know they choose to stay ignorant because either they're just not curious, or in the case of many Christians, they stand by their faith. You know, so in that case, they're choosing to remain ignorant. See, what is the difference between karma and cause and effect? Ooh, that's a deep question there. Deep question. Karma and cause. See, karma to me, Judy Smith, is like, it's another way to look at punishment as the idea of punishment. And we're never punished. But the way that we are taught that karma is like you're going to get either good karma or bad karma. You know, there's neither. It's energy, and cause and effect is a simply, and we look at it as like there's a beginning or an end, and that's part of our reality. But in reality, it's kind of like if somebody you think of somebody and then the phone rings and it's that person on the other end. Okay. Did your thought of them cause them to call, or did their call cause you to think of them? Outside of our physical reality, cause and effect doesn't even work. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, karma is the same way. You know, because you live multiple lives simultaneously. There's only now. So if your past life is right now and your future life is just another perspective of right now, how does karma work in that scenario? Okay? If all is now, how is there karma? How does the past life affect how does the future life affect the past life, and vice versa? Because you can get in the past life, you can tap into the consciousness of the future life and get information. Okay. So our way of thinking in a linear form, we come up with these ideas like that. Okay. And they don't always work. Okay. So Bernadette Coleman gave 1999. Thank you very much. Invest in desire and collect manifestation. Keep lifting, King Kuakaru. Leaving a holiday cruise soon, and speak to you all in 2022. All right, Bernadette's going on a cruise. Where you going, Bernadette? Where you going? Where you going on that cruise? And I didn't see, Linda, where'd you say you went on your cruise at? Insight to insight. Let's see. If you can be aware enough that you are in a dream, knowing exactly. Let's see, Tyrone. I see that looks like a second part of a question there. So, is the Book of Enoch real? Is the Book of Enoch real? I'm not sure what you mean. I guess if it's a book you're holding in your hand, it's real. But you're asking me if the contents of the book is real? I don't know. I've never read it, so I don't know. But usually those books that were written in that time, from the first to the second, third, fourth century CE, they were Gnostic books and Gnostic writing. all of them had the same form and same type writing as the Bible, as the New Testament Bible, the Gospels, and they were all mythology. So they weren't historical. None of those books were, and they were never meant to be. Excuse me. So it was only Christianity that needed to have a historical Jesus in order to institute their hierarchy. So they needed to have a historical Jesus who conferred his knowledge or his, I don't know, his birthright to Peter, who Peter then, taught the disciples and all of that. Okay. So that's why they needed a historical Jesus to say, hey, because on this rock, I build my temple. But you go back into that stuff, it's a lot of symbolic language. So when we think of a Peter in our time today, it was the same. We think of a Peter as a slang word for phallus. It was the same thing back then. That's where we get the idea. And a Peter is hard as a rock. And I build my rock on Peter, So there's a lot of symbolic language there. D Brooks sent $20. Thank you very much. Says thank you for your wisdom. Thank you very much, D Brooks. He did that on Cash App. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Let's see. If hell could they actually go? Even says if Christians believe in physical hell, could they actually go to one? In their mind, whatever they think, so when a person dies, they can go to that afterlife, and in the beginning, they got to get rid of that physical consciousness. They can believe that they can go to hell. They believe that they can see Jesus. They believe that they can see the devil. All of those things, because it is a construct that they have been indoctrinated into, and they're going to interpret the experience based on the physical beliefs and life that they just left. So if they do believe strongly in a hell, then yes, they can experience what they believe hell is like. So absolutely. Let's see. Looking. Let's see. Bernadette Abraham. You've spoken complimentary of Abraham Hicks and Sylvia Brown. They both support the existence of Jesus. Yes. And again, we all have our own belief systems. And even Abraham Hicks, the information is being filtered through the human Esther. And if Esther believes strongly that there was a Jesus, then the information that they filter is going to, validate the existence of a Jesus. But I can go back into the Comedic teachings and see where the idea of Jesus came from the mythology. It's just a matter of research and study that they've never done, and most people haven't. But it is really plain to see that when you go back into the symbolism, and I actually have a class, a course, the African Spirituality Before Christianity, that goes into that stuff and goes into the symbolism. Okay. So it's very plain to see. So I understand that a lot of people are going to confirm their idea that Jesus exists. But I know factually through research that he never existed, ever. Everything about Jesus was backdated 300 years. In other words, the Romans did not crown Jesus as a manifested God until the Council of Nicaea in 324 CE. So it was 300 years later that they decided Jesus was man and God. They backdated it. There is no eyewitness that anybody has ever touched that saw Jesus. Not one. Now they're going to tell you that they saw Mary, Peter, and Martha all saw Jesus leave the cave or roll the stone back. But if you go back into the Kemetic mythology and symbolism, you'll find that Mary and Martha are simply another iteration of Isis and Nephthys. Okay. So why were there like 9 Marys around Jesus? You know, why was that name so popular? Because it was about the Egyptian netters that the name MR, or the word MR, is where the name Mary and Martha came from. Okay. So you can trace it through etymology and see it very clearly. So people can say Jesus existed. If they want to believe it, fine. But I know for a fact he never did. Yes, MR means beloved on one level. But even on a deeper level, there is more deeper esoteric knowledge to that, rather creator. So there's deeper esoteric knowledge as to why Mary and Martha were with Lazarus. Mary and Martha was with Jesus. So there's deeper esoteric knowledge tied to all of those names and the functions that they mean. Okay, so it's pretty deep. The root word of ignorance is to ignore. I guess it could be. Could be. Let's see here. Are you familiar with Pantheus and Boetius starting Christianity in Alexandria? Never heard that, Drex D. Never heard that. Yep. Council of Nicaea and Constantine. Absolutely, Judy Smith Randall. Never existed. Never existed. So they made him up in 324 AD and said that he existed 300 years before, but nobody ever saw Jesus. So that's one of the things, again, Christianity never looks at their history. Christians never look at their history. They never look at where the Bible came from. They assume that the Bible is in the form that the Bible is in now, is the form that it started in. The form that Christianity is in now is the form that it started in. Christianity has developed over the millennia, you know, and different ideas and doctrines. A lot of Christians have no idea that a lot of the doctrines that they follow and live by, like the original sin and total depravity, hell, those doctrines are not even biblical. Okay? They'll maneuver an interpretation to say, yeah, this is probably what that means right there. But you can't read anywhere in the Bible where it says, if you sin, you go to hell. There's no scripture like that in the Bible. Okay? There's no scripture in the Bible that says Adam and Eve were the first parents, and therefore their sin has been passed down to every human being that's ever existed. That is not in the Bible. These are things that these guys made up. What they needed with Adam and Eve to be the original sin was that they had to have that in order to say that Jesus saved us from that original sin with his death. Without this made up story, they can't have that made up story. Okay, so the doctrines are made up. They invent the fucking. They invent the freaking problem, and then invent the cure. You know, that's what they do. That's what they do. Say D. Brooks says, when I smoke, I feel like I'm closer to God in a sense. Am I tripping, or can the herb heighten your vibration? Absolutely, it can, D. Brook. Absolutely. I'm sure that our ancestors smoked herb, took ayahuasca or something like it, all kinds of stuff to trip and just go into an altered state. So absolutely. D-Rex, that's that scale of my eye is symbolic, but if your heart is heavier than a feather, it's like you're living in a world of depression and misery. Okay, so are you lighthearted? Are you living life lighthearted? That's what the feather means. You're weighing yourself against the frog. That's one meaning of it. there's a deeper meaning too. But one meaning is are you living lighthearted? Are you? You know, are you feeling depressed all day? Living negatively. Blah blah blah. So that's kind of what that means. Okay. They smoke chocolate too. Rider Creator said they smoke chocolate. You mean cocoa beans? Cocoa Puffs. Maybe it was Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Blue Sky gave $20. Thank you very, very much, Blue Sky. Appreciate you. Says, thanks for being you. Hey, that's all I know how to be. I'm too old to be anything else, So absolutely, man, be yourself because everybody else is taken for sure. Let's see. Oh man, it's already 8 o'clock. Dang, time flies when you're having fun. Oh man. Okay, guys. Well, it's already after 8, so I'm gonna cut it off and say thank you guys again for being here. I always appreciate your questions. You guys always ask some of the greatest questions. Do demons exist? No, they don't. They're symbolic of fears. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. All you guys that gave, thank you again. All my moderators, Vote Vibes, Rider Creator, the Dark Goddess, Fort Law. Thank y'all for doing what you do, and I appreciate y'all always showing up. I appreciate you, man, so much. So y'all have a wonderful night, and we'll do it again next Wednesday. So, and I don't care about the holidays, so guys, I'll be here. So y'all here, I'm here. Okay. So cool. So cool. All right. And do not accept anybody that starts out a sentence as beloved. That ain't me. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.